Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yu-Ting. My project called Push Your Fan. It's a video installation living on the street. In the future, everyone will be famous for 15 minutes, said by Andy Warhol. And I got inspired by his quote, so I do a project on Waverly and Broadway. This project comes with a button, a screen, and a camera. It will replace the last image on the screen and start counting the timer, how long you will stay on the screen. This is the whole setup. So guess how many pictures were taken in 45 days? 8,000. So after the 45 days, I started to dig into all the pictures, and I found out behind each snapshot, there's a story unfolding. So I thought, rather than choose a main character for my documentary, maybe we could design a pool and let people join instead. Then I decided this at my thesis project. You might wondering why I have this kind of thinking. Actually, I was a documentary director before. I volunteered in a developing country for 3 summers. Whenever we go, we usually have a class called Taking a Picture. We designed this course because we are curious. But when we see the picture, I was very shocked by the breathtaking and intimidating the picture were. We were brought to a place that we would never have a chance to see before. And through their eyes, we got to see another side of the life there that would not usually open to an outsider. So we continued this course for the next 3 years. Whenever I see their picture, I think of this quote. Since I'm inarticulate, I express myself with image. So I still think, could people use the camera that we offer and to documenting their own story? So I started to do some research on the photo booth. As you can see, most of the photo booth is in the private space. Some of them even covered with curtain. But I found one in the bar. It's a public space. But interestingly, no one actually used the photo booth in the bar. The reason is that the interface is too complicated. It took me 5 minutes to try that, but I don't even get that. Instead, just one button and people will open up to you. Then I start wondering, how will the project change if I change the location? So I start my first location in 36th Street and 8th Avenue. As you could see, in the picture, I add some decoration on it. Compared to the one on Waverly Broadway, this is not an intersection, which means more private and more quiet. So I got some kissing picture here. There's also a gate in front of the window every day after 6, but I found that people still push the button even there's a barricade in front of them. And because the camera angle is lower, so children could push the button easily. I also tried another location. It's more like a party space. I got 1 hour setting out there and got 379 pictures. Then I start thinking, what will happen if I change the country? So I found a location in Shanghai ITP, and Daniel helped me bring my button, go over there and set up. You could obviously see that he. Then I got my first picture here, and pretty soon I got blocked by the firewall. This is what happens when you change the country. So be aware of that. I also tried some stuff on the online community, so people could tag me via the Facebook, via the Instagram, Twitter, through all the social media. And when I opened up the number to them, they even sent me some text message. I also have a website so people could get more information online. Then, after all this kind of experiment, I started to look back to the original location on Waverly and Broadway. I have been running there over 100 days, and I got over 3,000 pictures so far. And I found some interesting story, like people become more creative when there's a constraint. Like this picture, these two people think they are printed out by the Tisch building. Some people try to give me the gift, even though they know I'm the machine. Some people come back over and over. Breakfast guy, he sells the breakfast nearby. He usually comes at 4 o'clock in the morning, and after he set out, he will push a button to document his day. Sometimes he even brings his campaign stuff, like a sale, something. Amazing guy. I don't even know him, but I don't know how to get him. Sometimes he comes with his girlfriend, sometimes he's come alone, but every time he will have this amazing face. Child for blind. He's a child live nearby, and every day after school, in the afternoon, he will come here and push a button. You might wonder why I call him child for blind. Actually, there's a story happening here. As you can see, that's a child, and there's a blind stick. Once the child figured out this installation, he invited the blind people, and I got a picture of the blind people. Some people even come to see me with a dressing in front of them. I'm really curious about him, so I made a poster for him and tried to find him. And he responds me with the poster on the top. So we try to find each other, then we have a lovely afternoon tea. We talk about our family and life and why we moved this community and what we're going to do after graduated. After having the conversation with him, I suddenly realized it's time for me about to leave. So I start counting down the time, the installation. Then I receive a report. Someone said, take your last site fee while you can. And I receive a flower. I receive a sadness. I receive a goodbye. I receive a gift animation by TV Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. And I received a brother and sister love. I received a kiss. I received rain. I received heart. I received joy. And I received friendship. After seeing all this picture, I start wondering, maybe this project not only about the fan. Every time when I think about that, I will look back at the beginning when I documented my first installation on street. This guy approached me and asked me if he could join the project. And I said, of course you could. And he slowly moved his hand and pushed a button. Then he joined this community with his image. It reminds me when the first time I come to New York, I bring this Bonnie mask. And I start using this Bonnie mask as the storytelling device, because I could interact with people without using any language. Then after the bonding mask, I buy a deer mask. And I also use deer mask to do a project and try to interact with people without using any language. Then deer mask go to the Grand Central to have a show. After all this kind of experience, I suddenly realized actually this project is about I was an outsider, and after this process, I become an insider. And after I become an insider, I got the chance to give a voice to a voiceless. As you can see in the picture, people not only sending the message to me, but they also sending a message to the public. And take a picture, we all live here. So now I want to share my last 24 hours with all of you.